What up, people? It's your boy Chig from Guna Eagle Eye coming to you again with a brand new video. That's right, you're through to the chopping block. Now, it's coming off the back of a pretty tumultuous week if you're an Arsenal fan. And to be honest, it's almost like we are looking for anything else other than looking at our own situation. Any other sport. A good example today, I don't watch cricket on a regular basis. I have an idea of who's playing well and who isn't, who the top teams are and who isn't, and I just watched England win the World Cup. As you guys are watching this now, I am anxiously watching Nigeria play Algeria in the semi-finals, probably losing, hopefully winning. And earlier I watched Lewis Hamilton win a pretty good race, British Grand Prix race. It's been an all-action sporting weekend, it really has been. I even caught bits of the Wimbledon final. In the longest ever final, Novak Djokovic beat Roger Federer in 5 sets. So I say all that to say this. A lot of the reason why I'm looking at avoiding anything to do with Arsenal in a lot of ways is because of this man, Laurent Koscielny. Yep, he is the person on my docket. And you've seen my title and you probably sat here thinking, what the fuck? That's pretty aggressive. For me, I don't think we should waste any time. I think we should send a cold, hard message that what he did was unacceptable. For those of you who are living under a rock, earlier this week, when Arsenal were set to leave for America to begin their pre-season preparations, obviously having a tour in America, Mr. Laurent Koscielny refused to go. He refused to go on the basis that he is disappointed that the inquiries that essentially Arsenal haven't just agreed to let him go from his contract, because supposedly Arsenal had this gentleman's agreement with him last season. I mean, I can't see Arsenal giving away money like that. So that in itself makes me think, And instead of acting like a professional, instead of remembering he's the motherfucking captain of the club, this young man decided, no, I am not going to act like a role model. I'm not going to act like a leader of the group. I am going to spit my dummy out and decide that I'm not going to go on a pre-season trip with the rest of the team. Supposedly Arsenal have opened internal disciplinary procedures against Laurent Koscielny, and presumably they will sort that out once they get home. Now, to me, and this is part of my gripes with Arsenal, is that I want Arsenal to send a clear message to this guy that what he's done is completely unacceptable. And to be perfectly honest, mate, you ain't untouchable. You're not untouchable. You know, I remember the first time I realized, oh no, there's like a really serious defect with Laurent Koscielny, was that Birmingham final. I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm still salty about that. I am still salty about that. We played the Worthington Cup final against Birmingham. We'd obviously gone, I think it was 6 or 7 years at the time, without a trophy. No, it was 4 or 5 years, something like that, without a trophy. And it was an opportunity for us with a smaller trophy, but to be able to just break that duct. And Laurent Koscielny, and we had an easy final on paper. We were playing the glorious, the massive Birmingham City. And Laurent Koscielny turned up and made Obafemi Martins look like Ronaldo, not the Portuguese one, the Brazil one. Literally just made him look like an absolute world beater as he whirled away scoring, I think it was 2 goals at the time. And that was the first time I realised Laurent Koscielny was a waste of space. After that, he's given away penalty after chance, after penalty, after chance, after penalty. And then now come to the point now where for me, I don't give a shit. You know, this season I was already of the opinion that I felt like I would sell him anyway. He's obviously 33, going on 34. That's where players start to fall off. And Koscielny for the last couple of seasons has been absolutely ravaged by his Achilles injury. You know, he picked up one Achilles injury one season and has never fully recovered, and often has to play games taking like pain injections and things like that. This is something that all Arsenal fans know. This is something all Arsenal fans are aware of. And to be fair, this is something that most Arsenal fans have respect for him for. The fact that he does play through the pain barrier. But I think when you're looking at a situation like we are, where we're shipping so many goals, you really have to try and identify weak points. And I think most of us can point to a player that we think is a weak point. But actually, even though on paper, arguably, he's the best defender, I still don't necessarily think, even at his best, he ever read the game very well. The one attribute that I think Koscielny had was he was always blessed with pace, and he could react very well. So he's not necessarily the preventing guy. He's not the guy that's going to be able to read the game so early that he'll prevent the danger from even taking place. But what he is the last ditch, let me put the fire out type of guy. He was always very good at that. But the one problem as to being a reactor is when you do react last minute, you often give away last minute penalties. And that was something that Laurent Koscielny did a lot of. He constantly gave away penalties. And I think for us, it's come to the point now where heading into this season, a lot of us felt that if he came back into the team, because bear in mind we started last season with him injured, if he came back into the team, we would have to look to sell him and get as much as we can for him. He came in against Southampton in December, along with the goalkeeper, had an absolute shocker in that game, and Southampton deservedly won that game. He steadily gotten better, did go through a spell where for about 4, 5, maybe 6 games was unbelievable. And then just like the rest of the team, when we needed them the most, as our captain, as our leader, was found wanting. And I think everybody kind of started looking at the question is it time to replace Laurent Koscielny? And I was always of the opinion that yes, it was absolutely time to replace Laurent Koscielny. And now we are at the point now where he's refused to go on tour. What do you do about it? If it's up to me, I don't let him go on tour. I send him a message, I sack him. If you want me to be honest, I'd sack him. 8.8 million, we're going to get 8.8 million. The most that's going to happen now is that maybe you might get a 5 million offer for Koscielny. I think you sack him, so you won't even need to strip him off the captaincy. Sack him, and then, you know, send a message to the players that his bullshit won't be tolerated. And then you move on. Yeah, it costs you money, but let's be real here. You guys ain't spending the money you actually do have. so at this point, what is 8.8 million going to do for you? I know a lot of people don't necessarily agree with that. A lot of people say sell him instead. But I think you sack him. It's a year left. Send a message to him that his behaviour was completely unacceptable. And as a result, we are going to pay off the rest of your contract and you let him go. Simple as that for me. And by the way, I say that as a HR person. I think at some point you have to be able to send a message of strength to these players. You saying, oh, I'm going to fine him in a couple of weeks because he didn't go to America, is not the message I am talking about. I think you need to shake up this group. And if by shaking up this group, that means sacking the captain, so be it. In a lot of ways, you can't send more powerful message than that. And in addition to this in particular was why I am so annoyed with Koscielny. we are almost in a situation where we have to keep Mustafi. How did that happen? We are in that situation where Mustafi has all of a sudden become the most senior player at Arsenal. I realise Socrates is older and more experienced as a defender, but in terms of defenders who have been at Arsenal, he's the most experienced, and I can't see Emre or the board signing off on the idea of letting Koscielny and Mustafi go in the same window, even though I would have, even before the refusal to go on tour. But hey ho, it is what it is. What do you guys think? I mean, I know I have a no-nonsense tolerance for Koscielny, but let me know what you guys think. Would you keep Koscielny? Is he that integral, even at 33 going on 34, on one Achilles? You let me know, leave it in the comments below. If you like this video, please do crush, please do destroy, please do hit that like button. I know I bang on and on and on about those likes, but you will always notice, even look for yourself, there's a significant difference when you guys actually band together and drive those likes through, particularly that 100 barrier. It does make a difference to the views, so please continue doing that. I'll be back next week with a chopping block. I'm going to be more strict on myself with these chopping blocks. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. Take care. Deuces.